Okay, so it always takes me forever to figure out if I'm live or not. Um, so the market did its thing, and it did almost exactly what I thought it was going to do, which is to stop me out at the 4,000. It if I had taken what I normally take, which is the backup order, which I keep talking about but I never take, uh, I keep finding reasons not to take it. But if I took that, I would be in. Obviously, it didn't hit target or anything like that, but it is working, and you even get to see a nice bullish, sorry, bearish engulfing candle on the 1 hour to indicate and on top of the this is slight, but it is technically a divergence here as well. Higher high on the price, and then RSI made a slightly but definite lower low. It's just harder to see. But if you look at the indicator, this is 69.58, and then this is 65. So definitely divergence there. Under normal circumstances, I would take this, but and under normal strategy, what I would do is now at this point give it a shot with the 34,000 and the 3475. But I'm not going to do that because today's the end of the week. Market's closed for the week, and my account is now under negative, and it's very close to failing the challenge, which is I only have about $200 worth of losses allowed before the curve hits the red line and I fail. So if you look at this, looks like my account actually is in a downtrend after doing well since the January 13th. Let me see. Why can't I highlight this properly? Starting from January 12th, it's just been like almost is going straight down. Um, I'm not sure what that's about exactly. I don't think I'm doing anything different, but today is the day to find out. And I haven't done this yet. I'm just doing this live, no rehearsal or anything. So I gotta find um, it's the account history. Yes, there we go. So starting from let's take it from what went well since basically this entire year. Okay, because starting from I would say January 3rd, which is the beginning first trading day of the year, things went well, and then it fell apart. So we'll just analyze everything from. Let's just take everything. Just copy everything. Take this entire thing. Oh my god. Go into sheets. Create a blank one. Okay. And I'm only interested in 2023. So I'm going to delete rows 2 to 74. Okay, so now I have essentially 61 trades to work with. So that's 61 trades in almost, there's only two more trading days at the end of the month. This was a full, I'm looking at the calendar right now. This was a full 28 days worth of, well, I should say 20 days minus one holiday. Two holidays actually. January 2nd was a holiday, and Martin Luther King Day was a holiday. So it's really 18 trading days worth of data, which is still, but it's 4 full weeks with two holidays in the middle. Anyway, This doesn't look right because it's not showing the very last loss. Okay. Whatever. There's one trade missing in there. Anyway, okay. So where did it go well? Well, it started going well the beginning of the year, and then we saw it start breaking down completely, starting from January 13th.
This is a reminder. Upgrade RAM.
Jeez. Okay.
This is a reminder. Upgrade RAM.
Okay. So this I'll highlight in. I'll just put this in red text or something. Yeah. Okay. So let's look at what went well in the beginning. So there were two wins. These were, I opened it at 333. So this was definitely a market order chasing price down. So let me make some room here. I don't care about commissions and swaps. I can delete those. Care about net result and balance. Okay, so I can add notes here. Okay, perfect. So this win, this was a break even. I can tell by the tiny loss. This was a break even stop loss. This was a win that was chasing price from the 325 area, I suppose, down to 250, down 250 pips or points. Okay. So chase price, chase 250. So chase 250. Okay. That worked for me. This was, and I took it. I took a major level set. So ML set for 250 as in a limit order, as in I just left it, because a limit order would give me a better price than the 33,000. So this is, I mean, this is one thing that I do like about my strategy is I always go in at the same prices, so it makes the analytics super easy because I don't deviate from my entry and exit prices. So the prices alone is very revealing on what I'm able to do. So this was a major level that worked. Major level. Loss was, this is buying at a hesitation band into a 500. That's not good. I don't know if it's a chase or not, but this was a counter trend into 500, which is not good. This was a major quarter that failed. This is a 33 250. 250 is the major quarter. I took it twice. Okay. So major quarter fail twice. Okay, these two also failed. Let's see. Oh, this one I can recognize that my losses should all be around $30 if they were sets, because that's the risk that I use. This is a mistake where I put in the wrong stop loss, and that's why it's bigger than everything else. Okay, so I remember this because I panicked and I just closed it as soon as I saw that number. So this is execution error. This one is a MQ hesitation band that failed. This one is one that worked. This was an MQ, I should say back, front and back. Front zone, MQ back zone. That failed. No, that worked. For 250. This is a major quarter set that failed. This is a win that worked. So what happened here? This is a front zone, major quarter front zone that went for 325. I must have been trying to get 500 out of it and then settled for 325. This is a major level that failed. I should really just put this next to it or something. Okay, wait. This is a major quarter front band that failed. This is the major quarter that I got for 250. That was good. Maybe a better way to do this is to add filters. How do we add filters? Ah, there it is. And we can sort. Okay, so that was the execution error. And all my losses, I should have, all my losses came down to down to this, including this. This was before when I was doing half the lot size. Okay, so how many cells am I highlighting here? Up to, these are 44, so minus 1, 43 losses, and $49 to $61 is 12 plus 13 plus 1, counting 1 is 13, so 13 wins and 44 losses, which is 13 divided by 44 plus 13. The total is 57. 13 divided by 15, so it's a 22% win rate. No wonder this is way too low. It has to be at least 30, 25 to 30% for me to stay profitable. So we gotta, I have to figure this out. Okay. So what's the cause of this? This is a wild card that failed. Wild card fail. Okay. Opened at 800. This was a rule break that failed because that entry price is not right. This must have been a buy stop off of off the high. Yeah, that was recent. I remember doing that. So that was a rule break. It was a gamble that failed. $6.75. Shorting $6.75 is the major quarter front zone that failed. Buying a 175 is major quarter back zone that failed. This is a major level that failed. This is the major quarter back zone that failed. And a major level that failed. Okay. This was a major quarter fail. Major quarter back zone that failed. Major quarter front zone that failed. There's very few wins. So many losses. So many losses. A major quarter back zone that failed. Major quarter front zone that failed. No, this is a back zone. It's a cell. This is the front. This is the back. I reversed it. Front zone, back zone, 750, stopped out at 825 is major quarter fail, major level fail, selling at 825 is MQ. This is a front zone, so it's a breakout that failed. Can't type. Major level that failed. I wish it would tell me if it was a buy stop or a sell or a limit. Because that can tell me if I'm chasing or if I'm returning. If I'm going counter trend or if I'm chasing. Selling 320, 33.25 is chasing. Her front zone is a chase. It's a chase that failed. Just write it in myself if I can tell. Chase that failed. This is a major quarter front zone limit that failed. This is a major quarter limit fail. Same thing. I must have done it twice. Selling a 325 is a chase. Quarter front zone that failed. It's a chase that failed. Okay. Selling 150. This is a rule break. It's too far. The rule break. 675. Buying 675, which is the M quarter backup zone. Failed. MQBZ failed. 425 is failed. All right, halfway. We're almost halfway. Jeez, this is such a grueling process. Major quarter. This is the back zone that failed. And these are all failures, so I guess I don't need to keep typing fail. Buy is the MQ front zone, fail. I'll just add in fail later. Get through this faster. This is major level. Major quarter. Major quarter. This is the back zone. Major quarter back zone again. This is major quarter. Major quarter back zone. This is major level. That failed. Another major level, major quarter fail. Major quarter fail. Major fail. This is another break even. These are all going to be break even, which is fine. That's its own category. And now we're getting into the wins, finally. A few wins that there were. This is a break-even win. If it's 15, I don't do that anymore, but... What the hell is this? This is a trailing stop loss. This is also a trailing stop loss. These have to be. Trailing stop, trailing stop. So these are all ones that have potentially, that could have potentially been bigger winners. Not looking at the charts, I wouldn't know if I saved myself or if I hurt myself. But trailing stops, I can't tell just by looking, but I can tell that these were not intended targets. These were not take profits. These are trailing stop losses, 100%. And this was a major quarter that worked. And then this was a major quarter back zone. No. This is a front zone that worked. And this was a major quarter that worked for 500. Okay. So of the wins seem to be a mixed bag. The front zone chasing the price, because this was also a chase. Well, we don't know that. Let me figure this out. So of the wins, these are the only ones that are significant wins. So few. So, okay. This was limit, 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 sell, that's a weird number. This must have been a market. It's too obscure. It's too far. Buy at a 825 is a limit. Sell at a 325 is a limit. Sell at a 676 is a chase. Buying at 7. There it is. That also seems really far. I don't remember. So it looks like it's a limit. So it looks like the limit orders win better for me. And how many front zones? There's well this is technically front. And this is chase. Chasing and front is the same thing. So it's like 1, 2, 3. And the back zone only worked once? Really? Is that right? No, that's not right. If I opened at the 825, and I closed at basically the 33.75, this must have been a trailing stop as well. Okay. So where things seem to have fallen apart was when I started to get into trying to go for 500 on the 12th. And let's sort this in time now. So I got one win. That was literally the last win for 500. And from basically from the point that I kept trying to get more 500s, everything fell apart. That's the simple version. Because since then, there was only 1, 2, 3 wins total. And all losses after that. It's horrendous. But prior to that, let's see. Let's look at it prior to that. Chasing 250 worked. A set 250 worked. This was stupid. So there's no real discernible pattern. Everything seems to work and fail equally. Back zone, front zone, front zone. Hmm. Well, there's two takeaways from this. One is that I don't break my rules nearly as often as I used to, which is good. I'm happy about myself for that, but I still do. So, and what's painful is if I don't follow the rules of entering on quarters and the upper and lower zones, the front and back zones, off of the quarters, which is in this case 75 points above and below, the analysis becomes a freaking pain in the ass. So, I'm shooting myself in the foot by doing that, and I shouldn't. So, if anything, that's the reason to stick to the rules even more mentally. Um, Also, I have to come up with a better way of organizing this. But based on this data set, I can't really determine if whether the front zone or the back zone with one is better than the other. There's no it's first of all the data set isn't big enough. There's only about 40 no, there's only 60 trades here, and that's not nearly big enough to determine whether a front zone it works better than the back zone. Um, let's see if I were to just sort by this, see how many major levels failed versus how many major levels worked. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 failures on a major level, which is really awful. And I only caught it once. That doesn't mean that it always fails like this. That just means I only caught one of them. Because there's definitely ones that I missed. I remember missing a 33,000 specifically. So this reinforces if I want better analytics, I need to be more disciplined on the rules and not hesitate on the trade. So I need to take every move on the major quarter and not. So I'm not going to do this, three strikes you're out kind of thing on the day, which is a little bit difficult for me to stomach right now because of the status of the account, because I'm so low in margin now. I can afford around 250, so I can afford eight losses in a row before I fail. That is not good. Hitting the reset button for that many losses. Okay. Major levels failed that many times. No more break evens. Because I'm only going for 250s. And I'm going to go for, let's see, back zones failed. Front zones worked. No, this was a fail. What the hell? Back zones failed how many times? 10 times. front zone failed. Ten, 11 times. See, it's the same. The success rate, or the failure rate, I should say, is the same. How many actually won? Well, it doesn't matter. There's way too few wins to really draw any kind of conclusion. Okay, so now let's see. If I were to take 0.3, that's 2250. I could take then I could take 10 shots. I take 0.2. I have to lower my lot size down. I hate doing that. I have to lower my lot size down to give myself the risk until I get back to around 250, which is probably going to take forever. So I have to go back to basics. 0.2 lot. And let's see. How am I going to play it? I don't need this. So if I'm only looking at the hourly, if I'm only looking at the hourly from January, I should clear all orders. I'll do that later. From January 3rd, I know during the range bound I did okay. And then it started falling apart after January 12th or 13th. Okay, so where did I get faked out so much? I can't believe I didn't catch this major downtrend. I don't understand. So how many buys did I take between January 17th and I'll say 20th? How many buys did I take between the 17th and the 20th? Because that was just stupid. A lot. Let's do this in order. And let's only show buys. Between 17 and 20, these were all buys. 11, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These should have never occurred. These were too counter trend. I don't have the history. But starting from here, it should never have occurred. Instead, we should have had... I wouldn't have gotten into anything. Nothing would have come back to pick me up. Maybe that's what it was, the FOMO. After this break below the 750, it just collapsed down. I think I chased some of this down. And I don't think it would have ever never had a chance at a retracement. So not the 500. That would not have worked. When momentum is that strong to the downside, I guess you chase it like crazy on the lower time frame. Because the reversal is going to make itself evident on the lower time frame before any other time frame. You can chase and trail. So too many counter trend moves is the easiest way to say it. Too many counter trend and getting faked out. The more recent ones that I remember are the ones that are just getting faked out. This was a counter trend, that was a counter trend. So no more counter trend. Even for the small quarters, no more counter trend. Even though, so like this 750 to 500, that's counter trend. These things working every now and then is probably the problem. So I have to not look at it anymore. Okay, so I think I can do a 0.3 lot, but take fewer shots. And if I lose 8 in a row, I fail. Again, or 10 in a row, well, whatever, 8 to 10 in a row. And if that happens again, I'll just fail. I'll have my shots back at 750. So I'll leave these. But if it breaks down to 500, it probably indicates that it's a downtrend, so I'm going to take this off. This too. They're too far away. The momentum is dying, but I'm not really gonna... That's the counter trend thinking. Trying to pick the top doesn't work. And this, will I leave this? The divergence doesn't... It is there. It would have to make our lower low. But this could hold up as well. So let's see if these two... Really what I want to hold up is this 825 for this swing low. Okay. It is... Whoops. That's not it. So my last stand, and the rest of it is basically up to fate. I don't... Just to lay 3 traps and then leave. The full size. Okay, and this is my setup for the weekend on Sunday and Monday. Hopefully, one of these gets picked up and momentum resumes. If I get sliced through, then that means if none of these work, that means that the trend has changed because it will have made two new lower lows, which means I have another three shots to take on sells.